and thanks for stopping by. Ladies and gentlemen, in my last video, I talked about the top 5 new features in Infinite Warfare. With any game, there are of course good things and bad things. Today, I will be giving my thoughts on the top 5 worst features in Infinite Warfare. Before I begin, there are a couple things I want to get out of the way. First off, these are just my opinions, so don't take them very heavily. And secondly, if you have anything to add, make sure to comment down below. And lastly, this was just a beta, so all the things I talk about are subject to change by the full release of the game. None of these are in any particular order, so I'm just going to start off randomly. Okay, so the first thing on my list here is the lethals and tacticals in the game. The lethals and tacticals just seem way too complex and annoying in Infinite Warfare. They'll probably fit in with the campaign, but in multiplayer they just don't seem very simple. There are too many different types of a grenade. I feel like just having one Semtex or one frag will make things a lot easier. And as well for the tacticals, like the dome shield or the, I forget what it's called, but it's a needle and you inject yourself and it gives you full health. Those just don't really fit with Call of Duty. The tacticals definitely seem way overpowered in this game compared to any other Call of Duty I've played, and they definitely will play a key role in multiplayer. Now next, I want to talk about the combat rigs. Now I don't mind the combat rigs idea, but I feel as if they completely copied the specialist from Black Ops 3. The HUD is almost identical, and I would be fine with the combat rigs if they didn't make carbon copies of the specialist abilities from Black Ops 3. I took the time to create these comparisons. The Outrider Sparrow, which would, if you got a kill with somebody, it would send them flying, and then if there was a wall behind them, they get stuck on the wall. The Phantom is almost identical with its Ballista EM3, and the EM3 is almost identical. If you shoot somebody, it'll send them flying, and if there's a wall behind them, they'll get stuck to it. Or you have the FTL's Eraser, that's almost identical to the Ceres Annihilator. They're both one-shot kill pistols. And then we also have the Synaptics Erasers almost being identical to the Reaper's robot like submachine gun arm. The gun is of course part of their body, and they kill instantly. And then lastly, we have the Warfighter's Overdrive, which is called the same exact thing and has the same exact ability as the Ruin's ability in Black Ops 3. His ability is also called Overdrive, which allows him to run really fast. I mean, they're completely the same. I feel like there's an infinite amount of ideas Infinity Ward could have made to at least make these different from Black Ops 3. I feel like I'm playing the same game. Okay, moving on from the combat rigs, I want to talk about the third topic, which are the traits. Now first off, the traits are just additional perks in multiplayer. I put the traits on the list because they're just really overpowered. We have the FTL's Perception trait, which allows him to get a warning signal on his screen if an enemy out of his vision is aiming down the sight on him or looking at him. We have the Phantom's Marked Target trait, which doesn't allow any enemy that he gets a hit marker on to regen health. And then we have the Merc's Infusion trait, which just allows him to regenerate health a lot faster than the average player. But not all of them are bad, like the Merc's Extra Ammo, which is called Man-at-Arms, or Synaptics Combat Burst, which just allows him to get a short boost of movement speed. All your movement speed is basically increased after you get a kill. The only problem with this in multiplayer is the overpowered perks are going to outweigh all the normal acceptable ones. Once everyone unlocks these traits, the game is just going to become really annoying. Our fourth topic of the video is going to be the De-Atomizer Strike. I get that the De-Atomizer Strike is a cool idea to combine with gun perks, but there are only so many guns with a specific perk. I enjoy the traditional way of being able to get nukes with the gun of your choice. I also feel as if it'll get a little boring using the same weapon over and over again to get a nuke. For example, in the beta, I had the FHR-40, the nuke variant or the De-Atomizer Strike variant, and I absolutely hate that submachine gun. I tried several times to try to get a nuke, but it just wouldn't happen. I'd much rather try to get a nuke with the ERAD or the K-Bar. For now, this is under my worst list, but by the full release of the game, they could add some more, or they should add some more weapons. Okay, so the fifth topic of this video might not seem that relevant to you guys, but it seems very important to me. Now, this is the Ghost perk. In Black Ops 3, with the Ghost perk, you would only hide off the minimap if you were moving, but it's not the case in Infinite Warfare. They went back to the traditional Ghost, which allows you to be off the minimap whenever. Now, once everyone unlocks this perk and everyone's trying to do the same thing and get a bunch of kills and try to get those kill streaks, everyone's going to be running Ghost, and UAVs will basically become pointless. I much prefer the Ghost perk in Black Ops 2 because you couldn't really camp without being on the minimap. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. That sums up the top 5 worst features in the Infinite Warfare game. Of course, subject to change by the full release of the game, but leave a like if you did, subscribe to me today so you're instantly notified of more videos, and guys, without further ado, my name is Xavier, and I'm out. Peace.